Welcome to Glacier Bay. We have entered Glacier Bay and are headed in to see several glaciers actually. So we have the ranger on board giving a Glacier Bay day overview, telling us everything about the entryway and further. He will be on board for most of the duration, all the way in, giving his dialogue. On deck 8, pull forward. They open it up for Glacier Day, and you can walk right out here to a nice little area that's up here, where they will be providing some blankets to keep you warm, offering some binoculars for sale.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. And then you head up these stairs. And you are at the very bow of the ship. Let's take a look, see what we can see. Oh my goodness. Quite the grandeur. There's the front of the ship. Observation deck up there. Let's go see what it's like on the other side of the ship. And then when you're done, up top, you can head down these stairs. They are directional, so there's an entry and an exit. And you can head down the stairs right here, back to your cabin or other observation area. And you have completed the cycle. We are about halfway into Glacier Bay, and behind us, covered by some clouds, is Marble Mountain. That tops off at about 3,400 feet. We, of course, are at sea level, so that's a true 3,400 feet. And then looking forward, we're headed towards Mount Abdullah, and that is also covered by cloud cover, and that actually is almost 6,000 feet tall at that point. We're getting pretty serious now. What's really interesting to me is just looking at all of this grandeur is that thousands of years ago this was covered in miles of ice, and now we have cruise ships sailing every day into Glacier Bay to see the grandeur of it all. Just amazing. We are about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from entering the Marjorie Glacier Inlet. Before we get there, however, there's several smaller glaciers that we'll be able to see often. It is definitely starting to get better. Check out this view from our balcony. Tell you what, if those clouds clear up, this is going to be incredibly beautiful. Not that it isn't already, of course. And it's definitely getting cooler the further inland we get. Definitely getting cooler. I've snuck over to the starboard side of the ship by Food Republic. Get a view from over here. And look at that glorious sunshine coming out. Yay! Not much of a different view from the starboard as it is from the port. Yeah. The naturalist was saying earlier that right along the shoreline is typically where you would see the whales, because there's quite a large drop off at the edge there. I did not realize that. And watching some of the other videos and such, you would see the whales pretty close to the shoreline. I never realized that was why. So that makes totally good sense. We're coming up to a very large inlet on the starboard side of the ship. It'll be interesting once we get up there to see what's down that way. I believe there was a glacier off in the distance in one of these inlets on the starboard side. I'll have to double check the map to verify. But here we go. Now that we're getting up that far, we can see in there. It's really quite remarkable to think that the glaciers from the hundreds of years and even thousands of years ago had carved all this out, and this is what was remaining. It's really quite magnificent. Well, we have found ice in the water. Oh my goodness. Albeit dirty ice. That would be one of the first glaciers right up there, wouldn't it? We'll have to look on the map to see what that is. But there it is. Glacier number 1.
The ice.
Right there floating past us.
With the blue in it.
Yeah. One inanimate ice object floating past the ship. Far enough away so that we don't have any worries of striking the ship. One more inanimate object floating past the ship. That's kind of dirty. Look at how that's formed out there. That's really something.
What's the name of that glacier?
I don't know. No, that's the name. I don't know. Who's on first?
Yeah, right.
So, what is the best side of the ship when you are on an Alaskan cruise, dear?
All bundled up and outside.
All bundled up and outside, she says. Looking at chunks of ice going past the ship. So the one neat thing is when you go back in, they've got hot chocolate waiting for you to help you warm up, and it's pretty good hot chocolate too. We'll take it. I've heard of some cruise lines giving you pea soup.
That's no pea soup. Which is good. I don't like pea soup.
This is not a pea soup day, it's a hot chocolate day. That's very interesting right there.
Yeah.
There's a nice little chunk of ice right there floating past us in all its glory. We have more ice approaching, so we gotta be getting close. Well, there we have chunks of ice in front of us. We have a glacier in front of us that is a beautiful blue. What are your thoughts so far?
Wow, this is incredible. What scenery. Almost to say it.
Yeah.
So thankful we're here. Finally. To see this in person.
Yeah, to see it in person is definitely different than seeing it on a video of some
Videos,
sort or YouTube or whatever, a National Geographic special. It's completely a different feel too, because you're feeling the cold too.
Yeah, just how cold it is.
Big chunk of ice flowing in front of us there. Even bigger coming up. The dark ones up there that are all dirty and everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty good size.
It is.
That had to break off at some point and go start coming down this way.
It looks like the biggest group in here.
Here comes the bird right past us. Here you go. Hi guys. Okay, that was the entertainment for the day right there. You go, hey, a cruise ship is coming. There's food there somewhere. We know there's food. It's a cruise
Are they off
ship.
the cruise ship? Are they, hanging onto the cruise ship while we go through here?
Well, why don't we go through
They're
here?
normally out
They're
here.
looking for food. But
Yeah, it's
when you look
fish.
at the rock formations over there, you can kind of see some birds flying
Yeah,
around
yeah,
in front of
yeah.
them. So they're circling about. All right, back to the glacier. Alright, here we are at Marjorie Glacier. The ultimate view. Look at all that ice field going way up the mountain. Can you imagine just how much ice is there now and how much ice used to be? Absolutely amazing. I'm in awe. Absolutely in awe. Look at the seagulls just floating in air. They're just floating right there. Very nice. But the show is not the seagulls. It's the glacier itself. We are incredibly close to it. I don't know how close he normally gets, but this is very, very close to it. Just going to keep recording here in hopes of some calving activity. There's some calving activity. There's some calving activity. It's interesting, the calving that has already happened. You can see right at the shoreline the blue ice and the water. It eventually has to work its way out this way. We're just going to continue filming in hopes of even more calving. They're looking up the mountain, up the ice field, and the further back you get, the more dense the fog is. Cloud cover maybe. But it's really amazing how massive this actual formation is. And it's full ice left and right, even the dark spot, that's ice over there. It's just the dirt and sediment that is traveled down the mountain. But as the ship is turning, this is our view from whence we came. Not a bad view, huh? Alright, we're going to continue and go back to our balcony on the port side, because that's the direction that the ship is turning. And with any luck at all, we'll have an incredible view right from our stateroom balcony. We have ventured back to our balcony in our room, and the ship has basically turned far enough for our balcony to have full view of the glacier. You can see up top there that it's getting even more cloud covered. That cloud layer is starting to settle in a little bit. And we'll hang in here and see if we get any more calving going on. Got 2 of them so far. Well, as we turn away from Marjorie, we'll give a little bit of a panoramic view here of this area. And we get a look at Lori, being the photographer that she is. Well, dear, we are headed out from Marjorie Glacier and heading out of Glacier Bay, having seen at least 2 calvings.
Oh, several. I think I saw. Unfortunately, you got a couple on the camera, but I didn't get any on the camera. But to see that was cool, and there were more than I thought we'd see.
Yeah.
There had been. I think I physically saw 3 or 4 of them.
Okay. Well, I got at least
Some
2
were
on
little,
camera.
and some were bigger, but
And so we'll get that video processed and see what it looks like on video.
yeah.
So, in celebration, we have decided to take the bottle of champagne out of the fridge and have a celebratory meal of cinnamon rolls, which if you haven't tried their cinnamon rolls, they are very, very good. And then I've got coffee and you've got chocolate milk, and in a little bit we'll pop open that bottle of bubbly. Good way to celebrate. Well, dear, we have finished our Glacier Bay trip, basically. Our Glacier Bay excursion. Okay, it's pretty much done. We've been there. We're heading back out again. Good time.
Yes, it was wonderful.
Now we're hanging out outside the local. They're going to open up for lunch in about 45 minutes. In the meantime, we can sit here, have a drink or so, and we're still watching all of Glacier Bay pass before us. How about that? Very nice here on the NCL Joy, having a great time.